Alrighty, I have an AlpenFury construction update for you and other construction updates around the park at the end of the video. Firstly, one of the shipments have arrived of the missing supports. There are just a few more left, mathematically speaking. So I'm assuming those will be arriving over the next couple of days up until Monday, Tuesday, or whenever they arrive, and they will begin finishing construction. Heading inside the park, I wanted to show you guys a huge difference from last weekend. They had gone and torqued all the bolts on the Extreme Skyflyer element. So if you look very closely there, compared to last weekend, all the bolts have been torqued on this element for AlpenFury. So that is really good news to see. That is a pretty big job in itself to help get this ride up and running. So that element completely being done with torquing is a great sign to see. And yeah, so I'm super excited about this element because I think it's going to be one of the more intense elements. I almost called it intelligent. Intense elements on the ride. Maybe next to the first element, now that I'm seeing the shaping, which you guys will see very shortly in person, of the double inverted top hat. It's quite crazy. So heading on over in here, this is the next part of the ride that they're working on. So as you can tell, they are just doing torquing in this side of the ride. I saw a comment on my previous video about a drinking game every time I say torquing. Unfortunately, this is going to be another video where I say that a lot, and I am so sorry for overusing the word. We're just at that part of construction where they are torquing a lot. And that's just gonna be a common thing. So I apologize. I know I'm overusing it, and yes, it would make a fun drinking game, but I'm trying. Let's not try and hurt anyone. So with that being said, this is where they're going to continue off next week. They should finish it by the end of next week, hopefully, and then they'll begin torquing. So torquing is going to have to take place in this section of the ride. They have started. There is definitely a lot more torquing done than the last weekend previously, but still a lot more to do. But it's a very easy job at the end of the day in comparison to what has occurred on AlpenFury in terms of vertical construction. With that being said, the fencing is going in along the ride. Very nice to have some refreshed fencing in the area. This element, the double inverted top hat on AlpenFury, really can be seen from almost anywhere inside the park. It is massive. And the pullout, everything about AlpenFury just looks absolutely amazing. And again, in this section, Guardian's still not open, by the way, but in this section, compared to last weekend, all the torquing is done. So I can show you guys in detail. A lot of people were pointing out this wasn't exactly lined up perfectly last weekend, and it is perfectly lined up and torqued. A very normal process for building roller coasters. So everything in this area has been torqued, and now they just need to do the fire serpent roll and that first fan curve leading into the stall. I believe the stall, yes. Outside of that, they have, for the most part, finished the double inverting top hat. There does appear to be a small little hold back on the double inverted top hat right there. There appears to be an ever so slight alignment based off of someone with no knowledge. So again, these are things that can occur on any roller coaster construction project. So they are probably just working on a quick fix, like maybe inserting a plate in between those two and bolting it in and putting some flanges on it. Again, this happens on every roller coaster. I could show you on Yukon Striker where that has occurred, but obviously there is some work to do up there. Outside of that, everything else is torqued for the most part on the double inverted top hat, so that is a very good sign in terms of completion. Some fencing and mulch has gone down in the area, as you can see here. Very exciting news as the ride comes together. And yeah, so what I'm really excited about is just the actual final completion of the double inverted top hat, as well as the torquing completion on the fire serpent roll and the fan curve leading into the stall. So once that's all complete, that'll be really exciting. The fencing looks great. The mulch looks great. The ride looks great. Truthfully, it does. I'm super excited to see it finished off. This is just another angle of that double inverted top hat. Ever so slight misalignment. Again, it'll be fixed probably Monday if I had to make a wild guess, or Tuesday. I've seen them fix other issues very quickly, and we saw them fix it on Yukon as well. So again, as much as we're documenting this roller coaster and able to see things a lot more clear, it's a normal process that gets sorted out. Inside the mountain, the garage door was open. The storage and transfer area was being finished off today. And you can see the pullout. So the storage is just off to the left there with that door frame. You can see that little storage track there. And then right up there, through that bigger doorway, you can see the support column for the pullout of the launch. So again, you guys really don't understand how short of a launch this roller coaster has. Alpen Fury is going to pull some serious forces on that launch to get it up out of the mountain. So it's going to be crazy. They've gone in and painted the footings, and on the drone yesterday it looked so bright and I wasn't a fan, but with the finished product it looks absolutely stunning. It looks like genuine rock work. So I'm super excited to see them finish off the all the footings in the area. The paint in AlpenFest looks absolutely gorgeous. I have a feeling it'll lose some of this brightness as it dries. It is just freshly painted, but the area is starting to come together. It really is. Over here in the AlpenFest area, they've gone and again applied a lot of paint and added a little bit of theming. Again, working on the Rockscapes footings. The station by Timber Kits looks absolutely amazing. They're going in and adding in all the electric components to the brake run and the holding area. Timber Kits was on site on Saturday working in there. The electrical company was also getting the PLC systems fully hooked up. You could see them actually connected and upright and all in a row, having all their wiring sorted out and put in, which is a really good sign. They were putting the tilted platform in the station, also a good sign. You can see kind of like where the queue line's going to go. It's going to be partially indoors underneath the station and through these two building structures underneath or next to the first launch. The first launch is for the most part hooked up. I think they just have some water components to finish hooking up. The cooling system, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. That's what I think is left with those two hookups. In the station, they got all the motors connected and all that. So again, very good. The platform, the tilted platform, is installed as well and just being hooked up. The merch store exit is looking good. Just, I guess, some theming bits to add in on the outside, the wood panels, but they're avoiding it because they obviously don't want to ruin it. But they're getting it all ready to hook up, as you can see there. It's a full team of people even working on Saturday. You can see that grand entrance that Alpen Fury is going to exit out of that building, by the way, that station building. Look at that. That's going to look good once a final completed project with the Timber Kits massive wood. There's those little kind of like friction stamp brakes that'll kind of like help hold the train still, from what I understand. And someone did comment on my previous video pointing out that a lot of premier coasters actually do use them. So just to explain what those are, when the train's coming in and being held, that's what it'll kind of do, kind of hold the train still. The gates for the station have arrived. That's really exciting. So here are the entrance gates and all that. You can see some of the platform down there as well. But the gates for the actual queue line and entering the platform and boarding the train are there for the station platform up above. There's a better look at the PLC room being worked on in AlpenFest. The station building is massive, by the way. Here, you get a better view of it now. Look at that. That's so massive. That's going to be a grand station building. Here's that clearance envelope, a really good look at it. In here, it'll be heading inside the mountain now as they finish working on and start working on the actual tunnel framing. Rockscapes was just finishing off some of the Rockscapes work right here. You'll get a better view of it in a second. It looks so good. So good. I'm so excited to see the final product. And you can kind of see them in there installing that last piece of launch/transfer track. They were just finishing that up today. So that's exciting. Super excited to see Alpen Fury finish construction next week. Of course, no setbacks pending and no weather setbacks pending as well. So hopefully we can have the video up that says Alpen Fury vertical construction finished by next, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. or even Saturday, because they work Saturdays now, obviously. If they have to close the path to finish the Icewinder roll and the stall, I assume they will. This coaster needs to be done. Wonderland wants it open. Their marketing is starting to say and talk about AlpenFury, and they've started advertising AlpenFury for Fastlane Plus. So definitely something they're going to try and get up and running. With that being said, obviously there is still work to do in terms of vertical construction, finishing the electrical, getting the tunnel in, and commissioning the ride and training the crew. But the training and commissioning can be done very quickly if need be. So starting Monday, this is the section of the ride that they'll be working on. The tower on the right is part 1. That's done. That they'll be constructing a tower on the left similar to tower on the right. Over at Mindbuster, they are just wrapping up their vertical construction with the wood and getting the track installed. Not too much of an area to get a good view of that. Spinnovator is open, or I believe it opened today. It was testing when I was there, and people were starting to line up, and they weren't stopping people from lining up. The blue basket was spinning a lot faster than the rest. I thought that was interesting, but yeah. The ride looks absolutely stunning. I love what they did with this ride, and I was talking to some friends, and yeah, our park may not get paint jobs like the other parks as often. We do get paint jobs, but we might not get them as often. But I really like how the park's upper management uses our funds and allocates them to projects like this, where they completely almost refurbish old rides so that they can go for another 10, 15 years. So I just thought I would give kudos to the park for that. Can someone in the comment section correct me if I'm wrong? Was this sign fully there last year? Because I don't know, it stood out this year and I thought it was really awesome. And yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. Was that there last year? This is some survey markings in our possible Project 2027 area. So we're just keeping an eye here. Nothing exciting standing out yet in this area, but we'll keep an eye out for you guys. So stay tuned. Anyways, thanks so much. Have a good one, guys. Bye.